you say, just more generally then, what is a mind, Chris?
Oh. I think
in some sense, you've already kind of implicitly answered it in some ways, haven't you? But I just wondered if to sort of state your clear opinion.
Yeah, I'll be a bit provocative here. I think a mind is a story that we tell ourselves.
What were some of those philosophical questions that you had that weren't being answered by the arts and perhaps by sort of clinical psychology? What was it that was kind of giving you the philosophical itch?
Yeah, so of course, there are many questions. I remember that the first book that I read was Also Spoke Zarathustra by Nietzsche. So that was my very first introduction.
That's one to start with, isn't it?
Arguably trapped inside this sort of perceptual bubble. We're in a theatre of perception that's derived from something, but how do we know what's out there? And how can we talk about that? Is that a fair question?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Kant's critical philosophy really does challenge this old style of metaphysical speculation,
just sort of where more sort of abstract and fundamental. And say,
from Kant's point of view,
mathematics are, and why do we have this thing that gives us this means of identifying regularities in the world? The Mike Levin example of the normal distribution that emerges from dropping the balls, and where is that stuff? Why do we get it as a free gift?
That's a very good question, and
this thing, and it's this little self-motile creature that can take a turn in the maze and then turn around when it wants to, and so on.
Why did it turn around? Why do you think it turned around there?
We don't know. We have no idea as of yet. We have some technology that we're starting to use that will help us answer that question, but we have absolutely no idea.
Sort of where every point is. It's just
just briefly. Can I briefly ask? So, is matter a property of space?
Yes.
Right. So. Okay. Thank you.
Which is something very bizarre. Einstein had wondered that. Einstein was thinking maybe there would be some, black hole-like configuration of things that could represent something like matter. I was reminded recently when I was probably 14, 15 years old, I went to some talk by some well-known physicist in Oxford, I think.
When you look at evolutionary game theory, which is the mathematical foundations of Darwin's idea, that mathematics tells you very, very clearly that the payoff functions that govern the evolution of a system, including its perceptual systems, its sensory systems, the payoff functions almost surely do not have information about the structure of the world. And almost surely is a technical term. It means essentially your probability one. Probability one, they don't have
self-organization from the point of view of physics. I'm just using the phrase self-organization immediately induces, well, what is a self as opposed to non-self? So immediately the whole notion of self-organization implies, or at least induces, the notion of something that you can label this.
May I add a word here? It seems to me that free intelligence is precisely where Bill gets metaphysical. Yeah.
Hey guys, Matt here. God, I really enjoyed doing this. These guests have been fantastic. I'm still messing around with this video editing stuff and working on transitions, animation, and so on and so forth. But just to say that I love doing this, and I want to keep on bringing these guests to you and asking some of the questions that I want to see asked. Please do suggest guests and questions, and please do consider signing up for membership. It's $2.99 a month, and it just helps with the cost of putting all this stuff out. I've also got a Patreon site as well, which you can sign up to. So if you want to, check out the details and the link and stuff, you can go over there. Being a Patreon member grants you access to the kind of the innards of Chelsoph, direct access to myself, suggestions for guests, involvement in the interviews potentially, and all sorts of other cool stuff. So do consider becoming a Patreon, or or you can just make donations through that, just to help support the cause. Know thyself and be thyself, or do as well as you can. Cheers, guys. Speak soon.